time to come home. I don't care what you say anymore. This is my life. Go ahead with your own life. Leave me alone. Said you had to offer me a second chance. I never said I was a victim of circumstance. I still belong. Don't get me wrong.
You probably were enjoying a little Billy Joel. I don't even know if they let you listen to the music. The YouTube doesn't let the music come in if you don't own it. Anyway, good morning, my dogs. It is 6:32. It is October 24th. It is Thursday. Hopefully everyone's feeling well. My name is Scott Redler. I am the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Thanks for tuning in. What are we going to do today? We're going to go over some levels. We're going to go over some things that can make us money. Hopefully you guys have been making money. Didn't get a little too beat up yesterday. They did shake the tree. What do I mean by shake the tree? They broke levels. They searched for stops. They got people out of positions, which you have to because you never know where you're going to go. Gave us a new point of reference, closed off those lows, and now we're gapping up into what used to be a floor that could probably be resistance. Isn't it cute when that happens? So let me tell you what I'm talking about. So what they do yesterday, we were talking about this 580.50. Remember, if it broke 580.50, there was an air pocket down to the 574 area to the 21-day. Well, it went all the way down there and then came off of it. People could say it was because of rates. People could say, it was because of some of the, rhetoric coming out around with the election, with videos that are AI dubbed. Meanwhile, how crazy is these AI dubbed videos? It is kind of scary that they can make whatever they want. They could put together scenes with people's voices and make it seem like it happened and it didn't happen. It's like, you better be really innocent until proven guilty because chances are there's a lot of fake. If there's 10 Scott Redlers out there and Red Dog impersonators, someone could easily manipulate stuff, and it's just, what it is. But anyway, so for today, if you look here, just like that, the SPYs are up, 280 into this 580.80. So I would think this 580, 581 area, would be a spot for it to pause, a spot to maybe fade a little bit. You're looking to be cute if you want to fade some SPYs. If you think that, we're going to revisit this at some point next week, which we might, or not, maybe into this strength, you buy some puts again. If you remember earlier this week, I told you I was selling premium. I was buying 578 puts to help just in case that happened because I still have about 14 longs on, but I had like 25 longs on Monday that I had to adjust. But anyway, I would think this area would be kind of shortable. But again, if it gets through here, it might just be like this is nothing. Look at this reversal candle here that then all of a sudden started. But anyway, that's going to be, an area, if you want to look at the same kind of area than the Qs, the Qs did the same kind of thing, came in, broke support, broke 491-ish, went all the way down to look at that, the test. Oh, by the way, it's my wedding song. Oh, look at that. Here, want to hear it for a second?
Not one of those who can easily hide. Don't have much money.
Anyway, that was my wedding song. Got married in the Bahamas with 120 people. That was a lot of fun. Nice little destination wedding where we all got there on a Wednesday. We played beach volleyball. We went deep sea fishing. It was great. At that point, I think I was 32 with my fraternity brothers, my friends from high school. I get emotional these days. Anyway, that was fun. So 491-ish, where are the Qs? Let's see. SPYs are over here. The Qs are, oh, wow. Qs are already through. Qs are 492.44. So it's through this area. This was 491. So here's 494. So it'll be interesting. I would think I don't think you could buy this open. If you accumulated a little bit in the hole, congratulations. I would reduce a little bit into this. And then if you're looking to fade, just make sure you have a plan. I've been caught in a fade where I was like, this is broken. You can't get through here. And then by the end of the day, it gets through it. And then you have to say, okay, I was wrong, and you move on. Anyway, I'm not even going to get to the small caps in the bios. So let's talk Tesla. All right. Tesla, look at this. So Tesla's been a laggard. Okay. Tesla's been battered. It's been bruised. So I put out a cheat sheet yesterday about, the amount of cars and the margins and this and that. And when the news came out and I heard the margins and everyone on the VTF, was explaining, I'm like, I'm buying this. So I was buying through 224, had a nice after hours trade to 232, and then some even made it all the way to the 240. So right now, what's Tesla doing? Tesla is up 24. That's a nice move. Okay, so Tesla is at 238. Was it at 238.40? So to me, that'll be a spot that probably pauses. Doesn't mean you short there. Okay, I am long the 240 calls. Yes, I am, which is a nice. It is nice. 240 calls. Elon's coming back. Where is he? Can you see him? There he is, like superficial. Elon's back on the wall. And anyway, crazy how all in he's going with this election. But anyway, so what I'll probably do is I'll sell a little bit of the 240 calls. They went out at like 4.5. I did it for November 8th. I didn't do it for earnings. I did it for November 8th, having it as like an election play. That if all of a sudden the earnings were bad, I'd have a bunch of weeks to the election where I could buy more. Then hopefully you could buy the stock in the hole, and then it rallies back and then play it for the election. Or if it gaps up, which it's doing, my thought is I'll sell half and maybe turn 25% into a call spread and hold 25%, basically free and clear, and see how it goes. And then see what today happens, where's the low, how much of today's gap holds. And then I've done a video on, pro earnings gaps. I think then you could be long versus that pro earnings gap and then hold it as a swing trade. Like here, remember this? This was a pro earnings gap from April 24th. You could have been a buyer versus that. And then remember the autonomous vehicle, what's it called? News came out and got paid. And then look at this trend you saw. So anyway, you're going to have like an island bottom here, which is kind of cool. So maybe Tesla, which has been dead, turns into a go-to stock again. And I love when Tesla's a go-to stock again because I make a lot of money. It moves, it trades technically. There are some shorts. It's fast. You get red to greens. You get price patterns. And if you look at the weekly chart of Tesla, there's just nothing going on. It's been doing a whole lot of nothing. So where could this ultimately go to? So this is what's this low here? This low here is this is a 237-ish area. I don't know, like, why can't this get back to 271-ish? Not saying today or here, on this, on this gap up. And then, there's this whole other area that we're talking about from 2021, 2022. So it's been a laggard. So now if it could do okay with this margins in the EV business, what about if they start giving it an AI, robotic, RoboCop, autonomous vehicle premium, and I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm happy it helped me. It's helping me today, and I'm going to see how it could help us, moving forward. And if you're not in any Tesla today, there'll be a way to see what today's low is and buy against it. So what else did I do? I got a little hurt yesterday in Meta options. I was buying. I started buying Meta 620s, which I was telling you about for earnings, and I bought it kind of on the way down. So we'll see what kind of move it happens today. This is 572-ish. 572, 574 will probably be, the question is how much of yesterday's move are we going to take back? How much are the bulls going to fight back here to negate what yesterday was? Because this is a pretty bearish candle. So Meta right now is up 5. It's at 569. So what I might have to do is I might have to trim a tiny bit of the options because I bought them into the close, which because the earnings coming out, otherwise I wouldn't have done that. I'm not saying earnings have to be awesome, but anyway, so I bought Meta options into the close, thinking that it's some, if they beat and raise, which I'm hearing from Bammel and some of my friends, it could be good. But anyway, so 570. What's this low here? This low is so 572 to 574 is probably where this can go. And then if those of you who think today is a bounce to be sold, which some things might be, you guys see my dyslexia at work here. This would be this is your rubber match spot. So a lot of things are going to have like rubber match spots. We were down pretty big yesterday. Question is, what type of rally do we have back? Does yesterday mean anything, or was it purely just a slice them down, come back up, and then resume? We'll see. At this point, that again, that's that. What else did I buy for earnings? I bought Google for earnings. this didn't get beat up as bad, but also wasn't as big of a move. I bought some 170s into earnings, not in the stock, um, and Amazon. Those three. And to be honest, I'm not that optimistic about any of them. I was in this yesterday. I got stopped out of a lot of my shares of different things. Ultimately, this isn't the biggest deal, but we'll see again what kind of bounce back this has. So if you have fade the open on the brain because we were so weak yesterday, just know, your retracement rules that if it gets through some of these areas, yesterday meant nothing. Meant nothing. Nada. But again, we'll see. So with that being said, it should be interesting again to see, what happens here as far as, do we take all of yesterday back? And if anyone went out short thinking we're going to get to here or whatever, you praise basically this is your middle spot. I personally think 586 could be. I'm not saying it's going to be a top until the election, but who knows? If we get some really good reports next week, because next week is the biggies, we'll see. I'm still in IBIT. To me, wasn't the end of the world. Crypto is a little bit nuts where it slices through areas, wants to steal your stock and come back. So what did it do? It held this gap. Remember this gap? Some people are like, oh my God, it failed again. I'm like, it's a little too early to tell that Bitcoin failed again. Look where it came from, in September, which was only 2 months ago. It was down in the 31s and you had a higher low. Now this could be a higher low, which would be nice. Be nice. And then maybe we go higher and then, you have this whole area. A lot of the miners had some big moves. I would think people would have sold into them anyway, right? Somebody's like, Red Dog, the wolf. I'm like, yeah, I talked about the wolf, when it was friggin' 506 and it went to 650. If you have a runner on or a trailer on, that means you have 25% left. So they did a convertible. It's not the biggest deal. If you look at the wolf, entries and exits matter. And, from here, I actually bought it wrong the first time. I bought it here, because I chased it and then I added more and then I added more and I was trimming into this. Obviously it looked like it could do a bull flag and go, but, these type of things sometimes have convertibles. So where would I be getting back large in this thing? Maybe near the 8 day. I didn't even look at it this morning where it is. Where's the wolf? The wolf is probably, I would think it's probably like 580. Let's see. Wolf. Oh, it's only down 5 cents. That's not so bad. It ain't so bad. It ain't nothing. What movie is that from? 658. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. 658. Everyone last night was giving me a hard time. I'm like, what's the matter with you guys? I'm like, we talked about this and gave you a lot of spots, Anyway, so with that being said, I don't think it's going to take off, but hang out in here and go. I will say Mister's acting friggin' fantastic. A little loose and wide yesterday. I did add to my options yesterday in Mister. Hanging in here, holding up. I had the 210 calls, and then which was at the Red Dog reversal, sold all those for a double, and then into this sideways. I've been buying the 240s for which strike for November 1st. Anyway, so this Mister seems like if Bitcoin really goes, it's going to go through the roof. Oh my God, I'm so friggin' rude. I didn't even say hello to any of my dogs around the world. What's up? What's up? What's up, Casablanca? What's up? It's these. So if you're on YouTube, you could talk to me. Talk to me, Goose. Apple. I just think there's so much banter about Apple. I'd rather just let it be. I'm not going to take it into earnings. I kind of think it's going to be tough for them to have a great quarter. This is the iPhone 12, and I still. That's my wife and Chase. Look at that. Anyway, yeah, I got out of Apple. I'm going to wait. My son Chase is still in his Robinhood account. But anyway, what up, Massapequa? Oh, Todd, what's dead meat? Dead meat. You know what I'm talking about. Rocky 3. Mikey Pags is hanging out. TLT breaking out of a falling wedge. That's kind of helping. A lot of people talking VKTX. What did VKTX? Didn't it report earnings yesterday or something like that? What's it doing? VKTX. VKTX. What are we doing? VKTX. Well, it's up 3. All right. This is more of like a data type play, this and that. I think it just came in a bunch, right? So it's, again, still in a stupid friggin' channel doing a whole lot of nothing. So I'll tell you, I lost a lot of money this week in the BIOS. You know why? Because I tried to anticipate a move. I'm not gonna lie to you, it happens as a trader. I started thinking that the BIOS were going to break out. I started thinking that, we're going to pause here, build a bull flag, and go to the upside. Instead, I went to the downside. It happens. Get over it. Move on. Move on. Anyway, Oklo. All right. So what am I doing with Oklo? Oklo, one of my biggest winners of the last month from down here. So what I started to do is into this dip, I am buying calls for November and January, I think. November 15th and January 17th. I don't think this sector's over. It's just coming into the 8th day. Not a big deal. So I am buying options into here. I might even buy the stock at some point if it holds here. We were playing it from here. This was huge. This helped me get back to my high water mark. So thank you. SMR also, not the end of the world. People are like, Red Dog, it's the end of this sector. I'm like, well, why is it the end of the sector? All it did is hold the 8-day here. It went from literally, look where it went from to here. And now we'll see what, if at some point I feel like if you want to go out a month or 2 months, you buy some options in case there's some kind of news event that they sign more deals with like a Google and Amazon and NVIDIA for, for the grids. So, but I hung in there pretty well. I bet you they're not really, what are they doing today? Not probably, it's up 50 cents. This isn't probably where the action is going to be today. It's going to be more in some of the high beta and whatnot. The market kind of, it's not great that E did a money raise like it did and didn't hold this 21.59. I didn't even touch this thing, it's but because it did a deal, raise money, people think all of them will, but we'll see. Anyway, Rolando, okay, would your experience on how important are PM and SR level ones trading? What's a PM level or an SR level? You mean like support, resistance? Yeah, they're very important. If you map out areas, what you don't want to do is you don't want to buy into no man's land, and you don't want to short into no man's land, because if you're a little bit wrong, you're not going to stay with it. So with that said, I don't want to get into a lesson right now. How's Cadence? Cadence is all right. Cadence is my best friend. She's a 10-year-old golden doodle. 3 months ago, she had her first seizure, which was the scariest thing ever. My son actually found her. Ran into the bathroom where my wife was taking a shower, and she ran out of the shower, and she used to work in the epilepsy unit. My wife's a neuropsychologist, so she knew what it was. Thank goodness. Basically, she, after the 90-second seizure, we took her to the vet, had the blood test, and the blood test, everything was fine. I got to the vet, and she looked like Cadence to me, and then about 6 weeks after that, I was home for the seizure. It was the scariest thing ever. I'm not experienced, like that. Holding her head, shaking it, her legs are flailing. I'd want to knock her head on the floor. And P.S. Then she gets up and she's falling. It's saddest thing ever. Anyway, she just had one 3 days ago, so she had a third. So I have a few friends that own veterinary clinics, so I'm going to probably take her for an MRI to see if it's a brain tumor. Everyone gets old. Dogs get old too, but don't discount your dogs. Dogs are better friends than some people. But thanks for asking. Anyway, sad. What else are we looking at here today? Let's go to Apple. See, everyone's so interested in Apple. Apple got very loose and wide yesterday. It broke this 232 area, so could have got out, could have got short. I know I actually made money midday. Midday was funny. I was sitting here. The news came out from that China, whatever, about the iPhones. The market felt vulnerable, and I started shorting the SPYs at like 579.50 or 580.50. Well, Apple was playing with the 230, and I'm like, how come this is pretty big news? And the market's vulnerable. And I waited 30 seconds, and I just covered the SPYs. I'm like, I must be wrong. Sometimes as a trader, you don't realize how early we are. You have hedge funds that are in meetings. You have institutional guys that are, probably out to lunch smoking cigars. You have CNBC didn't pick up the story for 4 minutes. So we saw the news, and after 30 seconds, we're like, okay, what the hell's going on here? And then PS 3 minutes later, Apple goes down to 227. So I made some money short. The SPYs break 579, go to 574. I already covered. So me as a 33, 35-year-old vet, I still, there's that fine line between making a little and making a lot. So just realize that if you have your instincts tell you something and it doesn't happen in 30 to 60 seconds, just realize that we're professional traders. We're in the friggin' nuts and bolts of the trade, and the computers aren't as smart and people aren't at their desk as fast. So just give some time, give things some time. What I could have done is I could have shorted it, put a stop $1 above, and I would have made $4 to the downside instead of thinking I'm wrong because I was 30 seconds early. Anyway, that's just another thought for you to learn with. So anyway, for Apple now, I just would let Apple be. Applebee. You ever go to Applebee's? They have a decent. Do they have the onion blossom? No, that's Outback. I love that. I love the onion blossom. I'm a grease belly. I don't like sugar. But by the way, I've been on my diet since Sunday. No beer, no wine, no bread unless it's on a sandwich, and no chips. And I've already taken myself down 8 pounds from. We all have ranges, right? Markets have ranges. People have ranges. I know my weight range. So whenever I'm above it, got to tighten up. So I started that Sunday. And I feel good. It actually feels good not to have any beverages whatsoever all week. And it's been hard. You've had the World Series and you have Monday Night Football and you have your friends in the weekend. So moderation is key, guys. And do what you got to do to train your brain for go time. If you looked at my video with the ice barrel, I'm in there every day. Rain, sleet, feeling bad, this and that. Every day I'm going in because every day you have to, do your routine, do your schedule, and do life. Life doesn't wait for you. So train your brain to do things every single day. Score some points with yourself so you get your self-esteem so you know when you need to press your buttons. All right, guys, good luck today.